Welcome back to another episode of Comic Dudes, the show where Matt asks questions that sometimes don't even need an answer. And this is one of those weeks because the question that's been posed is, do we even need ongoing series? I'm assuming you mean within the comics world. What else could you be talking about? However, I am desperate for context, and if the context is what I believe it to be, I am desperate for a fight.
Wow, this man's backed in a corner already. He's already like rabid. Well, actually, what I wanted to talk about is ongoing soap operas, and I don't think you need them anymore.
Isn't every soap opera an ongoing?
Yeah,
That shit's been going for like 50 years.
So I'm saying the same people when I was like 10 are still doing soap operas. No, so that's fine. I hope we have a contentious humble bundle level argument. See last show, listeners and viewers. But where I'm coming from with this is, yes, in regards to comics, I do have like one qualifier. So by this, I mean primarily the big two. I don't really mean massive verse, image,
Okay.
whatever.
All right.
That's my main qualifiers, like Marvel and DC.
Okay.
Where I'm coming from is, I think as we're going along, and especially with our Invincible rereads, are really showing me the appreciation that I have for finality. Maybe it's because I'm getting closer to the grave and I don't have as much time as I,
Depressing
used
thought.
to. Yeah, as much time as I used to have, but I really appreciate things that are like finite and have a defined ending. And I have no problem going back and revisiting those things, especially after a number of years, because those things seem to be of quality to me. Um, when I look at big two titles nowadays, I'm really questioning whether we need ongoing series. Partly because, much like your favorite video game franchises or something, they might be over. Um, it might not be might not be another sequel coming down the road. But do you appreciate those things? Yeah, you still do. Some of these characters have been around since the 1930s, and there is so much material out there that I haven't read, probably you haven't read. Why do we have to perpetuate this ongoing comic book standard when it's not, in my opinion? I sent you some text messages even before this show, but objectively, if you take some of the art, some of the, and I'm thinking primarily art, if you look at the art in a comic book now compared to art, and I know the 90s were a rough patch, but in some books, but 90s, 80s, 70s art, like the craftsmanship is not there. So I've rambled. I'm gonna let you go. That's kind of the premise just of where I'm going from on a quality aspect and standard. I just don't understand the purpose of the ongoing series anymore.
I guess my first question would be, what do you propose in its place? Are you
So
proposing
yeah,
a nonstop stream of Batman miniseries? Like what?
no.
Like I don't understand. I don't know if I even understand what the
Well,
what's the solution here.
I do have a couple things. So I do, from in my opinion, if we're going to maintain this thought of continuity, and this is something that we talk about, like we want a cohesive
Mm-hmm.
Marvel universe with this continuity.
We do.
First of all, if we're being honest with ourselves, how many of these titles are we realistically going to need where this continuity really matters? Like, how many books are ideal for a continuity in this universe you want?
25 or less.
Okay, so like 20 books, which, I mean, I feel like they're publishing 80 books. So yeah, 20 books. No, like I think they really are. So
Yeah.
like, okay, like a 20 book continuity. Okay, and that could be something, if you were really a diehard Marvel person, like you could pick up and in theory read all those books if you wanted to, or a majority of the line at least.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just like, this whole thing of continuity that we keep talking about, if the big two keep up on the same pace of publishing 80 titles a month, like what does this continuity even matter? Like
But they're
it's
not.
so out there. Yeah.
But they're not publishing 80 ongoing series. They're publishing a mixture of of both. And even
Um,
even like the marquee characters are in a cycle of, especially at Marvel, of really what they do is they give them a maxi series or the guise of an ongoing series until a movie release or something else flagging sales dictates the relaunch cycle again.
yeah,
I
you're
think
saying
now
like,
more than ever we need the ongoing series because the whatever the current landscape is now is awful. It's awful. Marvel literally numbers everything twice. They've lost their way. We have legacy numbering to make the crotchety old heads like me happy, but it doesn't really make me happy. And then they have like the numbering of like the current iteration of the book. Volume 12 of the Avengers. We're getting a new number 1 in 2 months for Avengers. I mean,
I don't know if I've just been beaten so much into submission with the new number one, but that legacy number really makes you mad. It makes you way more upset than I am
it's
about it.
almost
Like,
insulting that they're like, "Oh, you don't like that we keep relaunching things? Here you go, little buddy. Here's a
here's
legacy
another one.
number. This is the
Yeah,
537th issue that we've published. You want to organize your collection with the legacy numbering? Go ahead. We don't really care without you or what you want."
I guess what I would. It's probably not feasible, but I was just looking at like the things that I've really enjoyed in the past couple years, right? Uh,
Mm-hmm.
primarily like Batman Three Jokers. I really liked that, and I really enjoyed that. Spider-Man Life Story from Zdarsky was fantastic, and I think is one of the best Spider-Man stories that I've read.
Mm-hmm.
And Superman 78, which isn't for you, I know, but
Mm-mm.
what those were, what those were, consistent creative team and artist. This filler artist nonsense after 6 to 12 issues is just it's ridiculous. Like, and it
Which
really
I mean, how do
breaks.
you want it, man? Like, which way do you want it? Do you want it?
I,
Do you want it to? Do you want the book to come out monthly, or do you want it to be on the Radiant Black schedule? Because you don't seem to like either thing.
I'd
Because the
rather it
fill-in
not.
artist keeps it on time.
I'd rather not have a fill-in artist, and I'd rather it not come out on time. To have a
But
even
you complain
even
about
with
Radiant Black not coming out on
even
time.
even with Radiant Black, there's been filler artists in that as well too, and that's the problem. You lose people like I don't know art heads like me. People open the books and look at the books and look at the
Yeah,
art, and if the art is crap, they're not going to pick up the book or continue the book. Like this, it's just I know that might sound crazy, but that it's a visual
it
medium.
doesn't sound crazy, but I'm just looking for some consistency in the opinions here. It feels like we're cherry picking now.
No, I would rather them. I know this is going to hurt me to my core, but instead of pushing out a Superman book every month, I'd rather them get a good creative team on Superman, put out 6 issues consistently, have them in the can. And if we don't have something meaningful to say, don't put anything out and focus on other characters except Batman, in my opinion.
So
Everyone has their Batman story. Yeah.
it sounds like what you really want is an ongoing series that never changes creative teams. If the art's good, that's all we need, and let's keep it going forever. Even if the art changes, it has to be good art. That's what I'm hearing.
No, I mean art is one thing, but writing also is important too.
Yeah,
I don't
okay.
want to.
We're splitting hairs. If you want solid creative team that you
Yes,
enjoy, and if that means there's a gap in publishing the book, so be it.
yes.
But you want to continue getting stories from these characters. You're describing an ongoing series. You're actually describing an ongoing series that Robert Kirkman would make because his shit never comes out consistently every single month. I think you do want ongoing series, and I think we do need the ongoing series.
When I think of ongoing series, I think of a series that comes out monthly, a monthly title that just until the end of time will come out.
I disagree.
Okay, then what is your definition of the
Well, I mean, I
ongoing
guess
series? Sir?
why isn't a book that misses so is Saga not an ongoing series? Was Invincible not an ongoing series because it didn't always come out 12 times a year? Like what's
No,
I don't
there are
understand.
they're ongoing series, but they're also finite series as well too.
Invincible wasn't while it was being published. He decided it was going 144 late in the life of that comic. Or if he had decided previously, he didn't tell anybody.
I guess. But any of the characters that we know and love, we know those are like ongoing series and they're going to be published forever.
Yeah.
There will be no finality.
But
to
I guess
them.
I'm looking for. So to me, an ongoing series means when it's solicited in previews and they solicit issue number 7 of a comic, it doesn't say 7 of 12 in parentheses or of 10 or of 8.
Yeah.
If it's not published with the intent to not go for an extended period of time, it's a mini series or a maxi series. Everything else is ongoing.
Yeah.
Power Rangers is an ongoing series.
Yeah. So maybe I'm talking about. I mean, from a creative standpoint and creative aspect, I guess if you don't got anything good to say, don't say anything at all. I mean, there's no sense of just publishing things to publish things that
Sure
aren't
there
meaningful,
is.
in my opinion.
Some people just want to read Batman every month, 20 times Batman every month. Some people just want to read Spider-Man every month or Captain Marvel every month. To them, the consistency of the publishing schedule might be better than, oh, well, I'm a fill-in artist. Okay, that's no problem. I don't know. I mean, I think the ongoing series is, especially at Marvel and DC, integral to the success. I think we need more ongoing series, less titles overall, and way less miniseries. All the extra stuff they do in Batman, there's some good minis and there's some bad minis. Take all that stuff and put it in the regular Batman book and publish one Batman book a month and make it good. That's what I really want.
Tightening up the line.
But if the whole comic landscape is just a bunch of miniseries, God, count me out. I'm done forever. No thanks. No thanks.
So we got to tighten up the line, I guess. That's trimming down the line and getting.
I mean,
because then we would hit. I mean, you're saying there's some people that just want Batman. They don't really care. Spider-Man. They don't really care about the quality. I'm a quality guy. Like that's where I'm at now with these books. Like I'm just getting.
Maybe you're just a snob. Maybe you're an art snob. Maybe you're not a quality guy. Maybe it's further than that. Maybe you're farther up the scale than that. Into snob territory.
I don't know if I'm a snob. I don't know if I appreciate that. Slander that's been thrown my way as well too.
Call him like I see him.
You're just as snobby as I am, friend. You've been cutting stuff to the bone as well too. All right, well, if we're gonna be snobs together, that's fine. That's fine.
We can change the name of the podcast again too if you want. I mean, comic snobs. I don't care. What do you want to do?
What about the idea of we get rid of the ongoing series? What about we have published so much material at this point? Why do we need new comics? Why don't we just put out the old comics?
What do you mean put out the old comics?
Why don't we put out old comics? Make them cheap. What do you mean? Make them cheap. Like repackage older material.
So are you saying why don't we just sell facsimile editions forever? Brother, we already had that episode.
No,
it didn't go well. I didn't like it.
What if we did No Man's Land, your whole thing, and we made it a cheap price point and we put that on the shelves, cheaper than a trade. We collected arcs and we put it out there. We gotta get this medium out there a little bit more than what it is. Or do you think comics is just a dying thing and it kind of is what it is?
No.
And there's no really room to grow?
Superheroes have never been more popular than they are right now. I mean, look at the last 20 years of box office receipts in the movie industry, dominated by Marvel films. Dominated.
I wish we could. The problem with the comic industry is you'll never see any numbers. I wish we could see digital numbers to see how many subscribers there are to like Marvel Unlimited and stuff like that. If those are actually, viable services and they're bringing in readers. I don't even want to touch about variant covers because I think that's a big push of why the industry is supported by variant covers. I don't care how you slice it. We've already had that episode. We've talked about it. I do like what I guess is a comic snob, as you'd say. I would love your model of like 15 to 20 titles and they were all meaningful. I just feel like there's a lot of filler. There's 30 Batman books.
Hmm.
I know that you're saying a lot of them aren't ongoing, but there's a lot of
Most of them
there's like
aren't.
four
There's only
ongoing.
2 Batman ongoings that I'm aware of: Detective and Batman.
There's Batman Urban Legends. We've already talked about this too. There's Batman Urban Legends, but and you have to include all these other Batman books as well too, like where he's in the book, like Nightwing and like these
Yeah.
are all Batman titles. Like it's a lot of Batman, and there's not a lot of where's Green Lantern? Like where this is crazy. It's crazy. Like we can't get a
He's
Green
back in two
Lantern book.
months. May.
Yeah, I hope. I
You'll see
hope
him in
he's
May. No, they solicited Green Lantern number
yeah.
1 for May.
After how many months of him being off, but whatever. Like there's just no I don't know, man.
I,
Maybe I'm just an old comic snob and I'm getting old, but there's just like a lot of material out there that is good material that I haven't personally read. So I need to maybe put my energy towards that. Is all.
I mean, yeah, but that's like a you thing. That's like a you problem. That's a
Well,
specific to you problem.
this is a me. This is kind of a me topic, so that's why
Yeah,
that's fine.
but the question posed to me was, do we need ongoing series anymore? We need ongoing series now more than ever.
And I pose this to you because you're the
Tightening up the
ongoing guy.
line, huh?
I pose this to you because you're the ongoing guy. You're all about the ongoing series. I would rather have a
Yeah,
3 Jokers and give me that, and I'm good with that for a little bit.
that
And
thing
then
was 3 issues long.
I know, but give me the next banger that I really enjoy. And I know that's what I'm saying.
So if the whole comic industry just moves to miniseries, say goodbye to comics as you know it. Like there's no more collecting. There's like it's just we're getting everything in a vacuum. The continuity discussion gets worse if you don't have an ongoing series.
Yeah.
If you look at the top 10 highest grossing, most successful TV shows of all time, top 10 all time most successful TV shows.
MASH.
Do you know how many of those were a miniseries?
I don't know. No. 0.
Yes, the answer is none. None. You can look at this in films too. Look at the MCU. The Infinity Saga, baby, that's an ongoing series. They strung you along for 10 years and you loved it.
To me,
You
it's
were
finite.
waiting on every single movie to come out. You were hanging on every post-credit scene.
I was.
So was I. Everybody was.
Finite.
What did DC do? Disconnected. Not even in like the same universes in some cases. The movies that they've put out over that same time span that Marvel was putting out their ongoing series of movies, DC was cranking out what amounted to a couple of miniseries. Who won that one?
But is this a was that a quality issue though too? Is this a quality with the DC films? Is it a quality issue? Like you said.
I think that still lends to my point, because not every miniseries is like an A+ creative team cranking out the best work you've ever read. A lot of that stuff isn't very good. That's why it's a 4-issue series, a 6-issue series. It's not good enough to be in the main title, so it gets a spin-off. Or it's a character that's not strong enough to carry an ongoing series, so it gets a tiny little piece. It gets a mini. Dude, the world runs on ongoing. Imagine if the NFL season only happened every few years when there was enough teams to be good enough so everyone could compete for the Super Bowl. Dude, they would lose fans left and right. No one would care.
The
NFL is an ongoing series.
Imagine if the NFL is a horrible example, because if the NFL is on every weekend, everyone will watch it. That's a bad example.
Why? Why is that a bad example?
That's a horrible example.
How?
It's quality. It's a quality product.
Not if you're a Jets fan.
Depending on what team you cheer for. But
I'm just the point I'm trying to illustrate is that people want things to continue in perpetuity. Look at every major entertainment source, and then within that source of entertainment, tell me how often the most successful content doesn't come out in perpetuity. It's a very, very low frequency. If you want to continue getting banger miniseries, You need to have the ongoing series. That's the bread and butter of the industry. That's where Marvel and DC make all their money. They get lucky here and there with a miniseries, sure. But a roster full of minis, not going to work. Not going to work. You lose everybody like me. Everybody.
I don't know if they got you though. How many titles you getting? How many titles you getting?
For Marvel,
Yeah.
I'm up to 5.
Oh wow, you've been okay. You've
Added a
been
few.
adding. All
Added a
right.
few. New Guardian
He's
series,
going,
new Doctor Strange,
he's going deep in the paper, man.
Danny Ketch Ghost Rider miniseries coming up.
All right, man. I don't know. Maybe I appreciate the finality in some things. I don't know. That's
I do
fine.
too.
And
I do too.
and I'm fine being whatever. I'm fine clearly being marching and beating my own drum, I guess. But it is what it is. So
Suppose.
all right.
Well, the answer to your question is definitively yes. We still need the ongoing series. You might not, but
I don't.
the industry
Yes.
does.
Yes.
The industry does. But let me know how you like not getting a monthly Superman comic. If that ever happens. They just stop. They just cancel Action Comics, cancel Superman, and you get maybe 3 miniseries a year. A 3 issue, a 5 issue, then maybe you get like a 4 issue that wraps from like November to March, so you don't even get a full 3 arcs in 1 year. Let me know how you like that.
Are they quality? Because
Sure.
I'd love it. I'd love it.
Okay. All right, we'll see. I mean, we won't see because it's never going to happen, but it's a fun thing to hypothesize about.
Yeah. We'll see.
All right.
All right.
News time. It's time for the news from Matt, because Dave doesn't really pay attention to this.
So news has kind of sucked. I got like a couple things that I
anticlimactic.
Yeah, I got a couple things that I think are exciting. It's been like a slow kind of news week thus far,
okay.
But for me, I was super into Dragon Ball Z, Budokai Tenkaichi. I don't know if you ever played any of those games. Like the first two, they were
remember
back
Sean
on the PS2.
being all about them when they would come out.
Yeah, yeah.
I remember.
And then there's like the Dragon Ball Z fighters, but I really like the first two Budokais. They were more so like 2D, like 3D character models, but 2D, like Street Fighter and
like
all
Street Fighters
fighting games now.
Yeah.
So they announced that they're doing another one, and I hope it's in that style and not like like the one Sean like were the 3D games, and I'm like a 2D fighter guy. I like those kind of games. So they announced they're doing another one of those, so I'm pretty excited about that. So that was a small news topic. Second thing, some comics that I know that you have enjoyed in the past, and I've also enjoyed in the past. The Aliens Predator comics that Marvel is doing.
Okay.
They're actually rebranding them and doing like a 20th Century Fox imprint, and they're also doing a Planet of the Apes series starting in April. You make that smirk. I'm not a huge Planet of the Apes guy. Did you ever see the newer movies though?
No.
Dude, they are fantastic. Like you would actually like them. And I'm not a Planet of the Apes guy. Like the new Planet of the Apes series, the first one had James Franco in it, and I didn't think I was gonna like it. They were super good. Like they were really good. But yeah, they're rebranding those 3 books to be under that 20th Century Fox banner. So I have liked the Alien series in the past. Predator, I've read the first issue and I was waiting for the other ones to pile up on Marvel Unlimited. And once there's like the whole arc is finished, I'm going to read those. But yeah, just a little.
You know what my problem is with those?
They're not ongoing.
Correct.
That's exactly quality. I love them. Quality. Salvador Larroca.
The fact that issue number 7 of Aliens had nothing to do with the first 6 issues was so insulting. Like, why didn't you just make that a new miniseries at that point? Like, what are you trying to do to me? Why is it so wrong to just want an ongoing series? Do we really think that people aren't going to just pick up in the middle? Do we really think that?
I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm sorry.
It's all right.
Did you happen to see the trailer or anything about the new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie?
I actually had a text conversation with our friend Paul about it today.
Did you
I didn't
watch
watch
the
the
trailer?
trailer yet. I saw some
Okay.
still images.
Okay.
Do you remember in Secret of the Ooze, the second
Oh
Ninja
gosh, the
Turtles
second.
movie,
Yeah.
when Shredder has the guy from TGRI give the ooze to the snapping turtle and the wolf, then making Toka and Razor? Do you remember? You remember that happening in the movie?
I remember that happening. Yes.
Do you remember what happened the first time Shredder saw Toka and Razor?
He was like my babies or something, wasn't he? Or
He
no?
said, "They're babies. They're babies," with disdain, like they're babies. That was my thought upon seeing still images from the trailer of that Ninja Turtles movie. They look like babies, man.
Not pleased. Dave isn't pleased.
I'm still gonna watch it, but the like even that slapdick 80s cartoon, the turtles were at least like matured a little. They look like little kids. It's weird.
Are you? I know you're like not a big trailer guy. Are you gonna watch the trailer?
Yeah, I'll watch it. Today was a rough day at work.
Got you. Um, they are. When you watch the trailer, it is apparent that they are leaning into the whole Spider Verse thing. It is apparent.
That's the exact same thing that Paul said.
You will. It is apparent. You will see when you watch the trailer, and I'll kind of leave it at that. I don't know. It doesn't look horrible to me, but
I
John
just
Cena
prefer
does.
my
So.
turtles to be a little bit darker and grimier, little grit, like that, like the old comics and the first live action movie. Those
Yeah.
are the kind of turtles that I prefer.
You like
I'd like them to kill some ninjas.
you like trench coat turtles. You like
Dude, read that old Mirage series, man. That stuff was kind of grimy. Like the City at War
no.
storyline. It's good
Is the city?
stuff.
Is that in like the original series? Is that what you're talking
Volume
about?
one,
I'm thinking IDW or Mirage. Mirage.
Mirage, original.
Mirage. I just remember IDW had a City at War arc too that was kind of dark, and I was like, oh.
Theirs was
But
something called. It was something different though, wasn't it? It wasn't called City at War. It was something else.
was it like City Fall or something? I thought it was
Yeah, I think
City
it
at
was
War, but
City
maybe.
Fall. I think that's it. I think that's
Okay.
it.
Okay. Yeah, I kind of do like because they're like killing people and stuff in the original
Yeah.
turtle in the Mirage.
Yeah. Now there was a lot of goofy stuff in the Mirage comic
Yeah,
too. There's a lot of corn in there, but
that's all right. A little corn's good, but all
yeah.
right. I'll have to. Unfortunately, I'll have to make a deal with the devil and play on roll on Comixology. That's the only way I can read that. So it is what it is. It is what it is. And the most important piece of news, did you hear about the Elden Ring DLC?
I
and
did.
are you in? There's
Of
not much.
course. Of
Did you
course I'm in. What a question.
did you actually beat the game or no?
Not
Is
yet.
it just it's just still on? So you're
I'll
just
get
adding
there.
more things to your map.
I'll get there.
Just
Dude,
keep
that
adding
DLC is
it.
not coming out for a while.
True, true.
Not coming out for a while.
I did not know. Like I knew that game like did well. I didn't know it did as well. Like
Oh yeah,
sold as many copies
this
as
is
it.
a
Like this
bona
is
fide commercial success.
yeah.
This got people playing FromSoft games that have never played FromSoft games or didn't like them before, i.e., me. I didn't like them, but I love this game.
20 million, dude. That's like that's Street Fighter numbers. That's
Yep.
Street Fighter 2 numbers. Like that.
Yep.
Those are good numbers there. So I figured you would saw that, and were excited about potential downloadable content, and would be
Very.
gladly willing to pay that extra couple bucks for that.
Yeah, it'll probably be like 20. I'm sure it won't be a
Probably,
couple.
yeah.
It'll be
That's not
more
bad though.
than I want to spend, but I'll spend it.
I got you. Short news. I don't think there was anything else of significance that hit. Comic
I
news is kind of sucked, dude. I don't know. It's not like video game news is all I get because
Yeah.
comic news has kind of been a bummer.
I did see that Valiant solicited another issue of Exo Manowar. That's kind of news. Still
Yeah, that is
chugging
news.
along.
They're still
Still
chugging
chugging
along,
along.
baby.
You know, it's funny. They're publishing one comic a month, yet their section in previews looks so much more professional and encouraging than IDW's like 3 pages worth.
Dude, the
They don't even
IDW
have
section
cover
is
images. Like,
disrespectful.
it's
They're
so sad.
disrespectful.
Like they must have like one intern assigned to that whole section. Like, it's bad. It's depressing.
Cover art pending. Not pre-ordering that. Don't know what I'm getting. Like, give me a preview picture at least.
Yeah, not good.
I don't
Not
know.
good. All right, we'll move on. So what we're reading and what we're playing for me, unfortunately, is going to be another short list. Primarily because last week was a really busy week for me, so I didn't have a lot of time to do things other than like exist. I did put some more time into No Man's Land. Each page brings me closer to giving up.
Oh wow.
The art is just so bad. It's so bad. The stories are weird and they don't make sense. Like, it was cool that the Cataclysm stuff was cool, like big earthquake, saving people, what happened? Oh my gosh, everything's destroyed. Then like the sealing off of Gotham, very cool, really cool concept. But man, 2,000 pages of that. I'm not even halfway through yet and I'm like, how do you have stuff to say anymore? It's so rough.
So has it like all that stuff has happened and we're just like in the aftermath period? Is that so you're just plugging away through that?
We're just living in no man's land right now. It's living in no man's land. Like some dude kidnapped Man Bat's son, who is in fact a little bat boy.
Is that
And
how that works?
yeah, and his mom is not a bat. She went
Okay.
to the Penguin for help, and he wouldn't help her, even though she's like a doctor or whatever. He's like, I already have doctors on my payroll, and they're just thankful for food to eat. They don't even do doctor things anymore. And she was like, okay, I guess I'll leave. And then Batman saw her leaving, so he tracks her down and says he's going to help her find her son. But she had given herself the serum already, so she turned into Woman Bat and then went and got her kid back, who was being attacked by the guy that kidnapped him for some reason. And then she flew away with him and her daughter, who was also a bat now. They just flew away. They just like flew away.
Seems like a good self-contained story.
But why did that have to take place in No Man's Land? It doesn't make sense. And the art was awful. Awful. I don't know, man. It feels like they didn't know what they were really getting themselves into, and they made a commitment that like this is gonna go for a long time. So figure it out, guys. Just make some stuff up. Throw out everything you got. Throw every idea against the wall, and then publish it. And that's where we're at.
There was like four Batman books at the time. Is that like? Do you remember like?
It was Batman,
okay.
Detective, Shadow of the Bat, and Legends of the Dark Knight. I think were the
Okay.
4.
And they're all involved in this series, like intertwining.
Yeah, and so are like there's issues of Robin and issues of Nightwing and Showcase
Teen
crossed
Titans was
over.
that the
And
one you said?
yeah,
It
Young
was jokey.
Justice
Young Justice
showed up with some cartoony little kid art, some really bright colors that didn't make sense within the context of No Man's Land.
Young Justice.
Oh, there's another issue that was in there about some dude that he's he is like barricaded inside the TV station in Gotham. So every day he like broadcasts a news show,
Okay.
and like it's somehow getting out of Gotham, and like the outside world can see his show. But there's like in this issue he's talking about how there's all kinds of people trying to break in, so it's probably his last episode because he thinks they're going to kill him because there's all kinds of like dudes just trying to break into the barricaded door, and then he has 2 sock puppets. Like, it's like a kid show, I guess, that he's doing. I don't know why. I don't understand. Like, he just does like a fake news segment and then shows like some footage of people living around no man's land because somehow he has a camera too to feed into the broadcast. And then at the end of that issue, like, he checks his security camera and everyone's gone from the outside of the door, and like Batman apparently showed up and like beat everybody up so they wouldn't break in. Why do I need to read this? Like,
This
that
seems like
doesn't do
so much
anything.
filler, dude. You're gonna read like
Yeah.
1,000 pages of filler.
Yeah, there's
and you're
so
gonna,
much
like,
filler, and the art is
you-
universally bad.
I'm sorry.
That's
about that.
almost the I think that's
That-
the only thing that I've read since the last time we talked, except for I read one issue of Batman, like the Chip Zdarsky, like the current Batman. I read one of those.
How are you feeling about that? How are you digging it?
I like it.
Yeah,
I like it. Yeah.
that's good. You good? I didn't want to.
The issue that I read, it was after Failsafe like killed Batman,
Yeah,
and he like wakes up and
he's
he
in that other
thinks in
realm.
another dimension or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah,
That's where I'm at.
got you. But you read the failsafe like that.
Mm-hmm. I thought it was really good. I really liked
It's
it.
solid.
Yeah.
It's solid.
I really liked it. Thank God Batman's an ongoing series. I'll always have Batman to read.
Yes. Sure, man.
That's it for me, man. It was a pretty boring week for me. Sorry.
No, it's been a pretty boring week for me too. Work's kind of whooping up on me too, getting ready for enrollment and stuff. I've just been reading Spawn. There's not really much. Like, I haven't even read that much Spawn. I haven't really read a lot.
Is it still like a superhero wannabe comic?
Yeah, it's not a horror comic. Yes, it's still
Okay.
a superhero wannabe comic.
Got it.
Yep. I'm glad that's an ongoing. I have continued my addiction to video games though.
Okay, I like that.
So my quandary that I'm in, I'm really enjoying Guardians of the Galaxy.
Mm-hmm. Please
So I need
finish
to-
it.
This is an on-air. No, I want to finish it. This is an
Okay.
on-air conversation. So the problem is, it's leaving Game Pass in like a week. So I really like it. I'm really enjoying this game. I really am, and I'm gonna pick up the pace. Like, part of the reason why I have such an Xbox bias is being able to use like cloud gaming, so I can play over my lunch. So I'm gonna really try to ramp this up because it leaves like in 2 weeks. So
You can do
if
that
I
with
don't beat it-
PlayStation too. You can remote play with
I've
PlayStation.
tried remote play. Shit doesn't work. It's
Yeah,
not
it
easy.
does.
It doesn't work.
I've done it multiple times.
No, it doesn't work. Shit's broke. I already tried
I've
it.
literally done it.
Nope, doesn't work.
My friend Andy does it all the time too. He literally plays on his iPad at work.
Shit don't work. Cloud gaming is
Yeah, okay, yep. All my first-hand accounts are not real. Go ahead.
Yep. Your experience does not count. So we're good
Thank you.
regardless. So if I don't finish this game, it's discounted. I can purchase it. Is it? And I feel like when you had talked about it before, you're like, there's no replay value. Like, it's kind of like a one and done.
I'll never play it again.
Yeah. So like, I don't know. Like, I'm not trying to pay $40 for this game if I don't beat it. Like, I'm gonna have to wait for it. 20 is my sweet spot. Like $20.
How far are you?
I'm like at chapter 7.
Oh boy.
And I think there's like 6. There's 6. I can get it. I think I can get it done in 2 weeks if I really like play like
yeah, you'd
30
have to
minutes a
because
day.
you're not even halfway yet.
Yeah. But my strategy's like, I'm gonna play that game up until it leaves, and if it leaves, then I'm gonna have to start something else and then come back to it when it's a little bit cheaper, or it goes back on Game Pass or something. I don't know. That's what I have to figure it out. But I'm enjoying it. I am. I was like,
Yeah, I definitely wouldn't pay $40 for like
That's a lot. I mean, that's
half
a
the
lot for
game.
that. Yeah.
I paid 60 for
Exactly.
the whole game, and Here I am. Never. It just sits on the shelf. I bought the physical
Yeah,
copy of it just to have it.
yeah. I
Should
could
have
get a
went digital.
I could get a used one too for probably 20. So that wouldn't be as bad.
You know what you also could have done.
What's that?
I'm pretty sure it was a PlayStation Plus game.
It is.
So
It's on there.
you could have just played it for free digitally and never had to have this worry about it leaving Game Pass because you have it forever.
Well, if my remote play would work, then I'd be fine. But
It
shit
does.
doesn't work.
You just
Shit
didn't
don't
do it
work.
right.
Shit doesn't work. Um, the last thing I played, which I don't know at the time when this game came out, I didn't understand it. I didn't get it.
Okay.
Everyone around me loved the game, and I didn't get it. I played a little bit finally, and I think mentally I was ready to finally receive this game.
Okay.
I played the first Borderlands finally.
Wow.
I've never played any of those Borderlands games.
That game is what, like 13 years old
It's
now?
13 years old. It is old as dirt.
Incredible.
I do have the upgraded like enhanced version and not like the original one. So like I know like picking up loot, it's easier. Like you don't have to pick up each piece of loot like in the first one on 360. So there's a couple like quality of life improvements in the game.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really enjoying it though. It really is like a game that I would like with my addictive personality and getting all these guns and picking up all this stuff. Co-oping and people popping in my game and helping me out, and I just don't know how I didn't get into it. But I'm all about it now.
I don't either.
So,
It was a
I don't
fun as
know.
hell game. Borderlands 2 was fun too.
I heard that's the best one. Is the second one? Everyone's like,
I never finished
2.
Borderlands 2.
Really?
I only finished the first one.
Did you play it co-op or did you just play it by yourself? For the most part, you remember? And that was a long time
2?
ago.
Borderlands 2. I played it a little bit co-op, but
Yeah,
not the whole game.
gotcha.
Tiny bit. You know what? The second game just didn't grab me like the first one did. It was really fun, but like I think the additional length on that game was just something that I just couldn't. That was when I was a DM living in Syracuse when that came out.
You didn't have time for that.
And the only thing that I was playing at that point was Titanfall. The first Titanfall.
So you need. And you played Titanfall. You played.
I was legitimately really good at Titanfall.
Exactly, you played some Titanfall. That's good stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I'm enjoying that game.
Well, congrats on discovering Borderlands in 2023. Better late than never.
Hey man, I got so much content. I got a lot to get caught up on.
No, I get it. Sometimes those things just pass us by. Which brings us to my favorite part of every episode, where I remind all of our dear watchers and listeners to not let our podcast pass you by or pass by your friends and family. Maybe somebody you work with. You got to tell people about the podcast. We tell people about the podcast. We have limited reach. You can increase our reach. So like it, share it, review it, subscribe to it, leave a comment on it, tell somebody about it. We'd really, really, really appreciate it. That would make our days to see those subscriber numbers go up, those follower numbers go up. It would make us happy. And with that being said, my name is Dave.
And I'm Matt.
And our Twitter handles are in the description of this video or audio episode.
Don't screw up the cadence like that.
I'm just trying something new out.
Okay, I'm just making sure.
You're hating this whole episode. Take care of yourselves, everybody. Bye-bye.
Peace.